Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. If you're new here, I'm Leenda, and this is For the Record, Your Honor. Over here on my channel, we go into some random topics and jump into deep dives of interesting stories, crimes, and culture. I like to lead with articles that are surfacing and swirling in today's mainstream media and mix it with today's reality of news and source of information, the internet, with the people's content creators and social media reporting to help feed both sides of the appetite and argument so you, the viewer, can digest it all and form your own opinion on such topics and discussions. Together we gather the speculations, facts, and all the info in between to paint a full picture. As I had said and discussed in a previous live, we were going to go into some background information on Anna Delvey and what she's been up to ever since her release. Since now that the news of her being casted for ABC Disney's Dancing with the Stars has come out, some more people are interested now that they're aware of this fraudster, professional fraudster. They want to know what she's been up to since her prison release. In this older article from September 11, 2023, Anna Delvey dives into New York Fashion Week while under house arrest. The subject of the Netflix series Saving Anna hosted a rooftop fashion show Monday night. I do believe this was the original name they were going to have because the series was actually named Inventing Anna. So this is a picture of her with who we had discussed previously, Kelly Cutrone, who is a powerhouse name in the fashion industry. I'm not a fake heiress. That's what Anna Sorokin, who is more widely known as Anna Delvey, said that most people don't understand about her. The Russian-born Sorokin remains under house arrest in her East Village apartment, but that didn't deter her from co-producing Monday night's runway show and hosting it on the rooftop of her apartment building. Oh my gosh. Arrested in 2017 and found guilty of 8 charges, including attempted grand larceny in the first degree and theft of services, she had posed as a well-connected, affluent German and scammed more than $275,000 in white chip indulgences like private jet services and luxury hotel stays. Still under house arrest for overstaying her visa, the 32-year-old is delving into New York Fashion Week through the pop-up firm Outlaw agency with publicist Kelly Cutrone. Hours before a few dozen media types trekked to the rainy rooftop of her East Village building, she spoke with WWD about what's ahead. As for fake heiress moniker, she said, that was just a press release created by the district attorneys. Anyone who would bother to look into my case would understand that this is not the story. 90% of publications insist on including fake heiress in headlines. I would be able to deal with it if that was the truth, and this is my punishment. I'm just a person who's trying to figure out how to move on with my life. I made some mistakes, and they just happened to be very public. Okay, girl. You went for the big wigs, and you went after the elite money, and you got burned. You tried. She had a good run being in the media and profiled in the Shonda Rhimes directed Netflix series. Here again, they wrote Saving Anna. It's actually Inventing Anna. People feel like you are public property, and they feel free to dole out their opinions, she contended. I just have to deal with my mistakes on a different level than some other people who get to make big mistakes in private, Sorokin claimed, adding that it is as though she is part of the public's property. The drama series was based on Jessica Pressler's New York Magazine article about how Delvey snookered elite New York friends, banks, and financial institutions under the ruse that she planned to open an art centric members only club. She did have a plan. She really did have it in writing, drawing, sketches, financial meetings. She had it going on. She was actually very serious about it. But she didn't have any money or means to get there, so she created them. Readying to launch Xiaoyang's first runway show, she said, "I'm just trying to do the best I can. I'm not thinking about what people think of me. I can't be thinking about that. It's very toxic." That is true. They will say bad things. Hopefully somebody will say some good things. I'm just trying to do what I think is right. In October 2022, Sorokin was released from Immigration and Customs Enforcement custody and placed under house arrest. Deportation is still a possibility. Sorokin first served 3 years and 4 months for her criminal conviction and then 18 months in ICE detention. Co-producing Monday night's show signals a new chapter for Sorokin, who has learned so much. She said, "I wouldn't say I'm a different person. It's just a new thing." Oh boy. "I'm not looking at it as revenge. Everything just came together and that's how it should be." Oh. Cutrone added that female empowerment is part of the equation, as is immigration. "And we have had fun, which is more than 90% of the people in the fashion business can say this week. Anna Delvey is a pop culture queen, visionary, sweet thing, and powerhouse," Cutrone said. Wow, I am actually very shocked. Sorokin spends most days working on her art and following up with her lawyers. Upon her release last fall, her team appealed the conditions. Sorokin claims to be the only person in the U.S. who is under house arrest due to ICE, but acknowledged that this is difficult due to the fact that not all immigration cases are public. Nobody is writing about that. People are taking for granted that Anna, of course, is a criminal. They just act like they are some high authority who has everything figured out. Nobody questions why. People don't have enough of an attention span to get into my case and my legal situation. I definitely feel that people just project whatever they see on Netflix and in the headlines. You can't blame them. Netflix was not a documentary. It was a dramatization of real life events. They added a lot of things that never happened. They disclose that at the beginning of the episodes, but everybody just wants to believe the story. And everybody wants to be entertained. I'm just trying to deal with it, she said. Although Sorokin said that she has never seen the entire Netflix series, she saw clips that were unavoidable. Putting on some accent is something that she would never take the time to do, Sorokin said. It seems that they made me out to be this very earnest person, which I don't think I am. If I said something like, "Oh, you look poor," it was ironic. Everybody who was in the room understood that. Yeah, I said it, but context, the tone, and intention absolutely matter here. It was totally a joke and meant as a priority. They made me out to be what I really meant, those, like as if I was really meaning those things, which is strange. I don't think that's me, but it's up to others to judge. Sorokin was 18 or 19 and living with her parents at home in a small town in Germany when she first got a glimpse of Cutrone on the reality show Hell on Earth. That was the name of the show. If you were watching or listening to the previous live where I said there was like a quote or a saying, and I didn't do it word for word, but it was about Kelly talking to the models and about how people behind the scenes are always like looking like crap and shit because they're tired and exhausted, making sure busting their asses to make the models look good. She was one hell of a personality, so that makes sense. It was Hell on Earth. Always fascinated by fashion, Sorokin said she was and remains obsessed with print magazines. I am too, girl. I get you on that. Accepted to attend Central St. Martin's in Londonby. She said she opted to defer for a year and moved to Paris for a stint at Parsons School of Design's outpost there. Sorokin also said that she once worked in fashion public relations at the Press Factory in Berlin. That was followed by an internship at Purple magazine, which shifted her focus from fashion to art, which was actually apparently proven to be true. And that was the backstory of, her true beginnings, getting that foot through the door. Contrary to the designer heavy portrayal of her Netflix, she said she is not consumed by the materialistic side of fashion. Whatever I buy for myself tends to be high-end, simpler pieces. I would feel better just buying a pair of more inexpensive sweatpants that I would be wearing every other day than a dress I would only be wearing once. While under house arrest, she favors all black styles with Rick Owens. The Row, which is actually the designer brand from the Olsen twins, Mary-Kate and Ashley, and other small labels being favorites. For shoots, Sorokin works with stylists. Being homebound, not surprisingly, is restrictive in every way, namely having the chance to live a normal life, she said. Projects that involve multiple people can prove tricky since there is only so much room in her apartment, she said. Everything cannot revolve around me. Not everything can be done inside this building, Sorokin said. I cannot travel. I miss traveling. I used to travel all the time, and now I don't at all. But remember, this is an old article. Now that she's doing Dancing with the Stars, she had permission from ICE and a judge to give her more distance. I believe they said 3,000 miles expanded from her home. As for whether she feels remorse, Sorokin said, yes, I've tried to learn from the experience. I can't go back and change anything. I've made a lot of bad decisions when I was younger. I served my time and paid my restitution. I'm not going to make the mistakes that I made in the past. I'm just trying to create something positive out of the situation. Always having to be around people all the time was one of the greatest challenges of incarceration. With a brother who is nearly 13 years younger, she said she feels as though she grew up as an only child, Sorokin said. I never really had to share anything. I'm good being by myself in a cell. Everybody has their own version of hell. I just can't be around people 24/7. It just stresses me out. Despite those solitude tendencies, house arrest is not surprisingly limiting professionally. But all those people in jail also helps to take your mind off your own stuff because everybody in jail has drama going on, she said. While a lot of people associate jail with RAPE, Sorokin said bad things didn't happen to her. Not having control or agenda for your life was the worst part, she said. Being locked in due to a fight between other prisoners or not being able to place an important phone call for days due to a broken phone that takes days to repair were irksome. Having access to the worst food and hygiene products also wrinkled her. Cutrone interjected, there is a downside of entrepreneurialism that a lot of people don't talk about, but find themselves wrapped up in. Things can move really quickly when you get over your head really fast. People leave out the fact that she was in her 20s from another country in the thick of the game. She was running in that 0.01%. Going on to defend Sorokin, Cutrone contended that the thing that is interesting is that so many of those people do the same thing on a regular basis. I don't know anybody who is alive who hasn't broken the law, she claimed. Seemingly overlooking Sorokin's serious crimes and conviction, most people find themselves in a situation where they have to deal with it. It's part of life. Now moving on to the Edge magazine.com, Reshaping Runways, the audacious symphony of Anna Delvey, Kelly Cutrone, and Xiao Yang. So here's a picture of them all together as we were just reading about their project, and this was 2023. It says New York Fashion Week has been teetering towards monotony. However, a seismic shift is brewing, a collision of two electric minds set to reshape their scene. September 11th will witness the electrifying emergence of the audacious pop-up powerhouse, the Outlaw agency. Little play on words, Outlaw. Spearheaded by none other than the luminous trailblazers Anna Delvey and Kelly Cutrone. This unconventional partnership bears the potential to jolt the industry out of its complacency and into exciting new era. Anna Delvey, a name that resonates with intrigue and controversy, and Kelly Cutrone, a luminous PR star donned in multiple roles, are an enigmatic pair primed to disrupt the fashion cosmos. Delving into the depths of their remarkable journey, it becomes clear that the destiny has knitted their paths together in a remarkable dance of fate. A chance encounter between Anna's voice on the Call Her Daddy podcast and Kelly's daughter set the wheels of destiny in motion. Anna's admiration for Kelly's PR prowess, ignition by the iconic Hell on Earth series, set off a spark that propelled her from Berlin to New York City to pursue a life in fashion. Anna Sorokin, or Anna Delvey, as the world came to know her, was no ordinary aspirant. She is a concierge of calculated intelligence and woman driven by the fierce ambition to ascend the ranks of wealth, all while circumventing social norms. In a mosaic reminiscences, Anna's journey unfurled from her humble beginnings in a Berlin PR firm where she wrestled hangers in a basement for meager euros to her audacious move to New York, fueled by a burning desire to accumulate great wealth for her Anna Delvey Foundation. This is a collision of the unconventional. Anna's unyielding determination is like a magnet, drawing her inexorably toward the epicenter of 1%. After a 2-year stay in Rikers Island and currently under house arrest, Anna is ready to do something transformative again. Kelly Cutrone, with 3 decades of industry insight, revealed the harsh realities faced by burdening designers to her and why it makes sense to form this pop-up agency. The traditional runway alluring is fading, swallowed by a world enraptured by corn dogs and gelato. A seismic shift is imminent, and Kelly and Anna are ready to rewrite the script. The genius of the Outlaw agency is the circumnation of the explosive partnership. True. With Anna's celebrity and Kelly's reservoir of PR mastery, the two are determined to champion a new breed of designers, rebels with a cause, artists with a voice. The embodiment of Thelma and Louise meets Mother Teresa and had a baby. Oh, okay, interesting. As Kelly abruptly put it, sounds like something Kelly would say. With a heart as colossal as their ambition, Outlaw Agency is determined to protect new talents from the pearls of traditional fashion's financial abyss. Okay. And it sounds intriguing and it sounds like it's genuine. Xiao Yang, the mastermind tailor whose creations adorned Wall Street titans and resonate deeply within the LGBTQ community, Outlaw Agency recognized the silent brilliance that shines from her work, choosing Xiao for her craft rather than her name. This is a union steeped in purpose, a revelation in the making. As the spotlight is focused on Xiao's debut, the Outlaw Agency refines the fashion show experience. No longer are seats mere placeholders, they bear significance. The invitation itself is a pack demanding contribution, whether through words or purchases. A symphony of press, power, and purpose is set to converge on an undisclosed location, becoming a vibrant testament to innovation. So, in other words, the whole pop-up, instead of it being structured and created and produced for production, which usually takes a couple of days, and then fashion week, a whole week, it's in use. This is more of like a surprise where it's not so focused on like, this is a party that everybody knows is going to be right here, but only the best of the best and the rich of the rich are going to get there. This is like a totally separate surprise pop-up, and it's a different concept. So I can kind of get what they're saying with that. It is vibrant and different. The ripple effect is undeniable. The buzz has already been created in Interview Magazine, page 6, Grazia, and even the media, with Wolf, a CNN, a silent spectator for decades. Now asks to the chronicle of the birth of a new kind of media event in the world of fashion. This isn't just a fashion show. It is an insurgence against the status quo, a radical re-imaging of an age-old narrative. That's a fancy way to put it. In a dance between Xiao's designs, Jules Wood's styling prowess, and the sculpting hands of the Outlaw agency, the stage is set for a spectacle that will transcend mere fashion. The eventual alchemy, the sheer aura of Anna and Kelly compelled CNN to cast aside its observer's cloak and embrace the role of chronicler. The guest posed to witness Xiao's ascent is a testament to the seismic shifts catalyzed by this daring alliance. As the final strokes of this tapestry falls into place, a mesmerizing truth emerges. Anna Delvey and Kelly Cutrone are forging more than a brand. They are forging a movement, united in purpose. Their narrative is a symphony of audacity, the empowerment, the prelude to a new era where Xiao Yang's name will etch itself onto the fabric of fashion history. So I wanted to show you guys some snippets of this refinery29.com article from 2018, where there's a few quotes from Kelly Cutrone. And the first one you see here, I want fashion as an art form. To be an underdog is to have a lot more fun. Those types of designers need help more than anyone. Seems like she does stay true to her word, as she quoted here, as she is currently working with Anna Delvey, where we've discussed many people steer clear from her name, not just because of her criminal activity and crimes, but also because she is still on the line of being deported. So a lot of people are like, why bother? Why should I put my money and interest into somebody or helping someone that might not even be here much longer? We don't know. But she is definitely making her print in fashion best she can, especially with Kelly Cutrone's help. That's huge. So we might be seeing and hearing a lot more about Anna. It goes on to say a quote where at the beginning, I was really open-hearted person. I wanted to work with everybody that I worked with forever, my employees and my clients. And I just wanted to have fun and get shit done. But after years of being taken advantage of, like stylists coming in and returning 10,000K dresses that were ripped or not dry cleaned or just not return them at all, and at the time, maybe not having it in my contract that I wasn't responsible for lost or stolen clothes. So then you work for 5 months for free to pay the designer back. It basically becomes a majestic exercise in how to destroy yourself. You have to learn after a while what your boundaries are going to be and how to ask for what you need. To this day, I still have my office called looking for samples that hadn't been returned because some stylist stole them or some celebrity decided that they were so famous that they just didn't have to return someone else's work. Then I have to get on the phone. And so, because of that, if you have to cry, go outside reputation, I don't have to ask as frequently. People are sometimes like, oh my God, it's Kelly Cutrone. I don't want to have that conversation. It's like, good. Yeah. I want you to not want that conversation. And I want you to respect my office and clients. That just gave us a little more insight if you're not aware of Kelly Cutrone and her personality. And like I said in another live, she is a tough cookie. She was on a show that was her own back in the day, Hell on Earth, like Hell on Earth. Get it? So she was very tough cookie, and now you see why she had to be. In this interview, there was also a question asked, what about merging designers appeals to you so deeply? And Kelly had said, I'm not really interested in cashmere or Calvin Klein. It's not really my thing. I want Mergella. I want fashion as an art form. And like she said in that quote, to be an underdog is to have a lot more fun. Those types of designers need help more than anyone. And some more established publicists don't want to touch them because they don't have enough money or because they're not going to get in Vogue. But there's a big bad world outside of all those things. The industry is more than Vogue. The unsung heroes are the designers who capture people's hearts and make them want to come into the fashion world, like Azadine, Stephen Jones, or Sonia Rykel, who would be classified as the freaks outside. As long as I work in fashion, I'll always respect those types of people. I don't have three names. I'm not a size two. It's not my thing. I'm not going to come in and make you feel safe. It's not what I do. I agree. Like, my favorite designer is Betsy Johnson. She has, regular Betsy Johnson line. She has Betsyville. I believe one is Love Betsy. Her whole vibe is all about having fun and being a little daring, going outside your comfort zone, coloring outside the lines per se, just to be a little different and spunky, a little bit of a change. When do you adapt to the mindset? When did you stop taking the bullshit? It took a long time, and I'm not trying to use this interview to dispel the persona because I really don't care. People have said so many things about me, like I make people eat lunch underneath a table in the back room, to the fact that they can't believe I'm a mother. I've heard it all. But it's a very complicated business and it takes a really long time to learn PR. I think a lot of people say, oh, PR people don't know what they're doing. They just talk all day and put people together. But that's not really what it is. You have to be able to think really far down the road as to how you want something to go, especially now more than ever. So if you are familiar with The Hills, she actually did a lot of runway shows where it's not just her setting up the um like the agency that is sponsoring those models, connecting them to the company or brand of the designer that they're going to be wearing, connecting that to the person that's in charge or managing the location that they're having the runway show at. And then also connecting all that together with, advertising and getting all that out there. So it's a lot of work. And like she says, you got to make sure you could see the full picture way ahead before you're even over there, because you want to make sure everything runs according to plan, A to B to C to D to the home stretch. I personally think that it's awesome that Kelly does go deep into helping out people that are considerably the underdogs. the people that are overlooked, not appreciated, or misjudged. When it comes to Anna Delvey, there's a lot of controversy that comes with that, rather than a fresh newbie designer that has a clean slate or not that bad of a past. So Kelly bringing Anna to the mix and up front is a huge deal. And she's putting a lot on the line of her own reputation. So that has to make you think she must really believe in Anna Delvey's work and vision. Despite the fact of all the crimes that she has done, I do still believe that she does have a talent. Just because she committed a crime or did something wrong doesn't mean she's not talented or smart, because I think she is both of those things. So tell me in the comments or in the chat down below what you guys think. Do you think this is a good thing that Kelly is doing? Or do you think it's terrible that people are giving somebody with such crimes and, kind of giving them what they wanted? They wanted fame from the beginning. Is it feeding their ego? Should we not be promoting people with such backgrounds? I'm a person that believes in second chances, and I'm very torn with this one because I believe this was her dream all along. This is what she was going for. And if she is doing this right now with all the right strings being pulled and all of it fell in place, is it meant to be? But at the same time, it's like she would have never had these opportunities if she didn't do what she did and became who she was or is. So tell me what you guys think. I really want to see all the different views, and maybe it will help me sway my thought and decision on this, because I'm still like 50-50. Well, I'm Leenda, and that's For the Record, Your Honor, and I will see you in a new video soon. Bye.